are then assembled and used by our computer. As can be seen, each of the hosts of the file will only provide a particular fragment of the file desired, following a method similar to BitTorrent. Let's review. The Internet, as we know it now, addresses by location, is centralized, is non-redundant, and as a result is frequently subject to total or selective censorship. Maybe it's not so great after all. Is it? In contrast, the IPFS is found by content, is clearly decentralized, resulting in its ability to be redundant and non-censorable. It would seem to be a winning combination. Let's see how the IPFS would work in an actual interplanetary internet situation. Let's consider a computer on Mars that accesses some internet data. It needs to travel all the way from the data centers on Earth, and the information will need lots of time to travel. But once it does arrive, it will be cached locally on Mars, and anyone else who needs to access the same information, the travel time for the data will now be only 1 second because of the access of the cached data. Now let's consider what part Filecoin has in the IPFS. Let's consider the internet cache here. It serves an important part in the function of the internet as a whole. It provides a service to the main data center on Earth. And in the IPFS scenario, can earn Filecoins for doing this service. At the same time, it is also providing a service to the users in its area and could earn more Filecoins from them. An income just for being online. And I think that's the last. So, like I said, I barely started with the Filecoin section.
I was waiting for
Filecoin.
I thought there was more to come.
So anyway, that's it. Like I said, heavy on internet, heavy on IPFS, light on Filecoin. So I just need to do some more research on exactly how the Filecoin would interact with the whole thing. And I think, so questions?
I guess in the slide 6 or 7, did you said that internet, the normal internet we are using, can send to the Mars as well? But we can't, right?
Technically you can. There is nothing preventing our current internet from sending information to Mars.
Oh.
The difficulty with the current internet sending information to Mars is the
Speed.
The speed. Let's see.
And the bandwidth.
This one.
But anyway, if we are using IPFS, we do need internet, right? How are you gonna send everything? But we need internet to access IPFS.
Yeah, the key difference between IPFS and internet and HTTP is HTTP, well, they both have what's called a local cache. So right now, your computer, your cell phone, your device has a local internet cache. And you can specify how big that cache is. The IPFS, what it does is to allow access to the local cache to other users who are looking for the same information. So if you are looking for smiley face, and I happen to have smiley face on my computer, when your device puts up a request for smiley face, my computer will respond automatically, I have it. And I can provide you the whole file, or depending on the size of the file, I can provide you a fragment of the file, assuming that other people will also be providing fragments.
You mean in the IPFS system?
Yes,
In the search mining?
right.
Yes.
Yeah, I did not actually use the term mining in
Yeah,
this.
that's what they call. It's not actually mining, but
Right, yeah.
that's how
It's data providing. It's providing access to data that has been cached on the computer.
Yeah, so that's how they're gonna earn Filecoin. So that's the IPFS and Filecoin relation.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and that's this slide right here. So we're looking at that intermediary computer there in the middle. It's making money because it is using its, this part right here. It's not showing up, that part. Yeah, it's using its local internet cache to buffer the internet. That's really what it is, it's a buffer. But it's not just a buffer, it's actually storing portions of the internet. Okay, other questions, comments, things I can add, things that are unclear?
Not really, but
The clarity wasn't even a question, it was clear. But, I mean, it's in general I have few doubts. Like, when we say that we're gonna use IPFS and that it's decentralized, so it means it's not gonna get governed, or say no one can put a leash on it. So if someone wants to pay or use it illegally, it's really gonna be super easy to pay them illegally or do something illegally, and no one can trace them.
you mean in the IPFS?
Yeah,
No.
like it's uncensored.
But then that's why they're using the space proof of space-time replication. That's what I was just gonna ask. Have you you know about the proof of work, which is the original work of blockchain, and then now they're changing
That's
it
actually
to
going to be the next slide.
the replication, and then the space-time, which is the storage.
Yeah, but you can't censor everything. You're not censoring. It's uncensored, right? The IPFS?
Yeah, well, if you come right down to it, even the internet right now is quite uncensored. In fact, I made a connection with a person who's involved with an online training school here in Korea. His students are in Japan. He advertises his website on his Facebook page, and when I went to his website, the whole thing was porn. I mean, explicit. So, and that's being advertised on Facebook. Or, let's talk about corporations. Facebook took down the Facebook group Pray for Israel. But Pray for Palestine is still up.
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay.
I saw that.
So, or let's talk about Parler. What happened to Parler? Amazon took it down, and Google took it down, and Apple took it down. And that's why that's a very important part of this point right here that I raised on this slide, where intentionally or otherwise, portions of the internet can be shut down. And for that matter, portions of the internet can be shut down selectively, which is exactly like what's happening in China right now. China says these portions of the internet you may not access. They have their national, what's it called?
Threat? I mean, that's what they said.
Like a filter.
I mean, maybe my question sounds so stupid, but if like it saves in fragments, like even
Right.
this minor picture, it's gonna save in fragments, but is it there is kind of tiny possibility that a similar other fragment which is similar, but it's not that one that I'm looking for, and can be sent out?
Okay. No. And that's because of this system right here. When you look for a piece of information from the IPFS net, what it does is to take the name of the file, but not the name of the file, the content. Identify the file by content and produce an ID of the content. And then what it does is to search, not to so much search, but to request that content ID from the net. And different members of the net will say, I have that or I don't have that. And then those that do have it, they just make an arrangement. Okay, I have a piece. Tell you what, I will give you piece number 1. Okay, I will give you piece number 2. And so piece number 1 and piece number 2 go together, they are assembled, and then my computer uses it in exactly the same way that BitTorrent does. Now, in this demonstration, I have just made 2 pieces. It could have been 20 pieces, 1,000 pieces. So, for example, if there were 1,000 pieces, maybe the one and only 2 sources, the one computer could provide all of the even chunks, the other computer will provide all the odd chunks. Same thing.
For like the question that you asked, I was actually like every day, even now, like checking their official website and then finding stuff. But like Juan Bennett also, he always talks how it's safe, right? How it's better than Bitcoin, kind of like.
No, yeah, actually why I raised that question, because there was a news for my country that they're gonna ban all kind of cryptocurrency.
What country?
India.
Okay.
Why?
And I mean, that's not official news. There was someone official, like some person said that they're
what was his reason?
Oh, yeah, the reason because they can't censor it and anyone can pay it illegal and they don't. But I know the main reason that they are gonna launch their own cryptocurrency that's gonna run for the whole country. They don't want to ban the other foreign cryptocurrency. The main reason is this, but in the court, because they're gonna get legally challenged, and they have to prove, and the points where they can't, the content would be uncensored, that they can't leash them. Second, the illegal payment would be increased, and they can't trace them back.
Well, I have, as far as the illegal payment is concerned, what did what did the underground illegal payment system do before cryptocurrency came in?
It is.
They used fiat.
I know, it is, it's there, but the point that they need to prove in the card to take
It's
them down.
still happening.
I know.
In fact, the extent of the illegal payment system in the world using fiat is greater, I betcha. I don't know, we could look for the research, okay? But I'm pretty sure that fiat illegal payments are much greater than crypto illegal payments. The statement that crypto is being used for illegal payments, that's just a diversion.
I know it is because they are launching their own cryptocurrency and they want everyone to use that. That's the best way to take out everyone from the market and launch their own.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, kick out the competition.
Yeah, simply.
So yeah, the next stage in this presentation that I wanted to do was to highlight a little bit more about the job of the middle computer right here. What is the middle computer doing? And like for example, there would be an inquiry from the data center because the middle computer, whatever we're going to call it, the middle computer is providing a service to the data center. And so the data center is making payments in Filecoin to the middle computer for the service it's providing. And so there will be a frequent, what's the frequency, do you know?
Of what?
The frequency of the inquiry of the validity of the information that is being stored. Space-time.
Space-time in the Filecoin right now?
Right, yeah. How frequent is it? Is it just like every few minutes?
We should check it on the Firefox. We can check it on the Firefox.
So anyway, that would be the next step. Is that the data center in this picture on Earth would send an inquiry of data validity to the middle computer, the proxy, I guess we could call it, and the proxy will reply, and if the reply of the proxy is valid, then a payment in Filecoin is made.
So the middle one will work as a station, like a confirmation station, something.
Say it one more time.
Confirming station that is going to confirm the proxy or not.
Right. Yeah. So it's kind of like it would be something like this. The data center will ask the proxy, what is the first word on page 55? And the proxy will say the first word on page 55 is X. And the data center will say, that is correct, here is your payment. After a few minutes, the data center will say, what is the 15th word on page 12? And the proxy will say, the 15th word on page 12 is blah. And the data center will say, that is correct, here's your payment.
0.0605 Filecoins terabyte.
Okay, that's
24-hour average mining reward.
Okay, but how frequent is the validation of space-time? Is it like every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes, every 2 minutes?
Between a minute.
1 minute?
Yeah.
Okay.
There, it's saying 48 seconds. It goes up to 1. I check it every time. It's here. If you can see it. It's going up 1. It always goes up like 1. Is it this one? Latest
I'm
one?
not sure. I think that's the block number. that's not quite the information I'm. It could be that I'm not expressing the question clearly. I'll have to do a little bit more reading. So yeah, like I said, that's one area I do need to expand a little bit. Oh, and I think, I'm not sure, maybe not. So, yeah, so the next slide, slide 11 on the screen will be something like, it will be highlighting the relationship Filecoin-wise between the proxy computer and the host, the data center in relation to Filecoin.
I guess I'm looking forward to see more.
Yeah, well, there isn't going to be a lot more because I think from what I basically tried to digest the information and understand it my own way, and I've been using the internet for several decades now, probably before you were born. And bit by bit I'm learning. But and when I saw what IPFS was doing, I realized it's really just giving semi-public access to the local internet cache. And I've known about the local internet cache for a long time. That's this part. So your computers have this, and you can make adjustments to this.
Yeah.
So that's going to be maybe one or two more slides on top.
Oh, yeah.
Like maybe slide 11 and slide 12. So comments about the flow of the presentation, the layout, the design, things like that. By the way, did you guys see the presentation I made about Bitcoin?
No.
No?
Where is it?
Oh yeah.
You did?
Yeah, you mean the link before we met, you said?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe we did,
We did?
I think. Like the money, fiat money, the difference.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was,
yeah, that one.
I don't know.
I think so, a little bit, yeah.
It's the same thing. I made a PowerPoint presentation, and then what I did was I used my voice to record the narration exactly like this, better because I used an audio editor to clip out mistakes and clip out little bubbles, and then I used PowerPoint to create a video file out of that, and then I uploaded that into the internet. In fact, I can probably pull it up right now.
Oh, I'm searching for frequency. I don't understand.
I misspelled mystery. This one. So you haven't seen this one?
Maybe I did it.
Oh, it's not on the screen.
Yeah.
Let me.
We can start it.